tremendous job in there. He did what he had to do.
Yeah, Canelo a big dude, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I believe in my abilities. He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like he's 5'8", I'm 5'8", you know what I mean? My arm's longer than his, you know. That fight it'd be good. You won't get hit in the fight. You know, that's one thing we all know. And I believe in my abilities and I believe in myself that I can handle anything that any fighter.
Even though their big fight is still 6 months away, Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are already turning up the heat ahead of their showdown in September. The two fighters met with Turki Alalshikh earlier today, but things quickly took a turn, and the meeting didn't go as planned.
Canelo in Riyadh in May, the big fight.
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford had a heated clash, and things nearly escalated into a full-blown brawl, one that Turki Alalshikh wouldn't have been able to control. The meeting in Saudi Arabia was meant to finalize details for their huge matchup, but tensions ran high when they met at the airport before heading to Turkey's residence.
His Excellency didn't seem as into this in the past, and now last night seemed very on board making this happen. What changed on his end?
I don't know. You have to ask him. You know, I think it's a very intriguing fight. You know, Canelo and me is the same height. I got longer reach than Canelo. I'm faster than Canelo. But Canelo is bigger than me. He's stronger than me. So we both giving away something, but we both gaining something at the same time.
Both fighters' teams had hoped for a respectful meeting, especially since there was never any bad blood between them. In the past, even while calling each other out and building up the fight, they always showed mutual respect. But things took a turn when Terence Crawford tried to greet Canelo Alvarez at the airport. Instead of a friendly exchange, Canelo seemed to snub him.
So no make sense when you guys say that right now. At the end of the day, I don't want to have credit to face Crawford, but you know, you never know. You never know in boxing. I'll go up and down and fight everybody out there. So it's possible.
Brings at me or throw at me. You know, I gotta be able to believe in myself if I'm gonna get in the ring with you. I can't go in the ring thinking, oh man, if this guy hit me, he's gonna knock me out, or if this guy hit me, he's gonna break my ribs. So now, you know, if he is talking about Deontay Wilder or something,
things escalated quickly when Crawford made multiple attempts to approach Canelo, but Canelo almost attacked him physically. Crawford, now angry, and Canelo started shouting at each other, ready to get into a full-blown fight. Thankfully, neither fighter was alone. Members of both teams stepped in to break them up. Airport authorities also intervened, preventing things from getting out of hand before their big fight in September. The two then went their separate ways to Turki Alalshikh's residence, where it's believed the Saudi boxing mogul helped settle the tension between them. A photo was later shared on Turki Alalshikh's social media showing Crawford, Canelo, and Turki together.
History of boxing in September, then 2 more fights in 26. Don't miss with the line.
The boxing world was craving a historic fight to spark excitement this year, and with Turki Alalshikh's help, the timing couldn't have been better. Canelo Alvarez and the former undisputed champion from Omaha, Nebraska, Terence Crawford, have had several meetings with the Saudi boxing mogul. But now, it's not just about the meetings. They've added some real drama with their heated exchanges, making the build-up to the fight even more thrilling.
Alvarez.
Oh, well, it ain't really no message, you know. It's all respect over here, you know, and if, you know, he do decide to come my way and me and him get in the ring, then it'll be an electrifying fight, you know. It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'll be a well-fought fight for both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that.
For a fight that's expected to be the match of the year, fans are eager for all the chaos and intensity they can get. And Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are more than ready to deliver. Riyadh Season's Turki Alalshikh has been leading the negotiations between both fighters' camps, working to finalize what could be one of the biggest matchups in boxing history. Canelo Alvarez was initially hesitant to take on the 37-year-old from Omaha, Terence Crawford. However, it seems the Mexican boxing legend has had a change of heart and is now preparing for the challenge. It's believed that Turki Alalshikh played a key role behind the scenes, possibly offering Canelo a massive purse to get him on board for such a big fight. Despite Canelo having a scheduled match in May against William Skull for Cinco de Mayo weekend, it's his upcoming clash with Crawford that's really grabbing all the attention.
Para este imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide que yo ya vine siendo el Canelo a Estados Unidos y que solamente lucró con mi nombre, nunca perdí un solo centavo, sino nomás ganó dinero. ¿Ya le pagaste a Golovkin lo que le quería robar? Sí, muy bien.
In a recent interview with a well-known boxing platform, the 34-year-old Canelo Alvarez spoke about his upcoming fight with Terence Crawford. He admitted that he doesn't expect to get much credit for taking on Crawford, saying, "At the end of the day, I won't get any credit for facing Crawford, but you never know in boxing. I've been up and down and fought everyone, so it's possible. Why not?" He went on to share his respect for Crawford, calling him a great fighter with no disrespect intended. However, Canelo expressed confusion over the talk about Crawford, especially when people discuss facing a smaller fighter like Crawford, who fights at 147 pounds, compared to the larger Charlo. "It doesn't make sense," he said. "But you guys talk about it." This interview echoed a previous one, where Canelo said he thought Crawford was a great fighter but that, in his weight class, it would be an easy fight for him. He added, "Easy money, if the money is right. I don't usually like fighting guys like Crawford because he moves a lot, and those fights aren't always the most exciting. But I saw Crawford in his last fight, and he didn't move that much. So, yeah, if the money's right, I'm in."
Hopefully once you guys get in there.
I don't know. I just think, his punch power and his physical size is the only thing that I really...
For Terence Crawford, it's been a different journey. Ever since his win against Errol Spence, which made him the undisputed welterweight champion at 147 pounds, Crawford has been chasing the chance to fight Canelo Alvarez. He explained, "I've been wanting this fight. It's a legacy fight. It's the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like it's the last of the Mohicans. This fight would be massive, two guys in the top 3 pound for pound going head to head." Crawford acknowledged the size difference, noting, "I know Canelo is bigger than me, but I'm up for the challenge. It's all respect, and if he decides to step into the ring with me, it would be an electrifying fight."
The only thing that I really have to worry about. But who knows? Once we get in the ring, we don't know how I'll handle his punch power, his size. I've been fighting bigger guys my whole life, so I'm pretty familiar with that aspect of the game.
As he gets ready for the big fight in 6 months, Terence Crawford, the former undisputed champion from Omaha, Nebraska, acknowledges that he'll face some challenges. He knows he'll need to be cautious of Canelo's size and power but is confident in his readiness for the fight. Crawford spoke about the different strategies and tools he plans to bring on fight night. Interestingly, Crawford isn't unfamiliar with fighting bigger opponents. Throughout his career, he's faced, and won against, larger fighters, maintaining an undefeated record of 41-0. "I've been fighting bigger guys my whole life," he said, confidently adding, "I'll definitely beat him. There's no doubt in my mind that I wouldn't beat anyone I step in the ring with."
No comment. Your reaction to that. And that seems like that you do want this fight now.
Well, I've been wanting to fight, I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if, this is the biggest fight in boxing today.
What makes a potential Canelo Alvarez vs Terence Crawford fight particularly significant is the fact that both fighters' Hall of Fame careers are likely nearing their end. At 34 years old, Canelo has been fighting professionally for nearly 20 years, racking up an impressive record of 62 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. Some of his most grueling bouts, like his 2 controversial battles with Gennady Golovkin, have undoubtedly taken their toll on him. Meanwhile, Crawford, at 37, isn't getting any younger, with 41 fights under his belt, yet he's never tasted defeat in the ring. Looking at it from a certain perspective, a Canelo vs Crawford matchup makes a lot of sense. Both men are nearing the end of their careers, and it raises the question, what more is there left for them to accomplish? This fight could very well be the final mountain for each to climb.
This fight right here is like the last of the Mohicans. You know, we both coming in the era where Floyd Mayweather was #1 pound for pound, Showtime, and HBO era, that type of era. So,
both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford know what it's like to be undisputed champions, a rare feat in today's boxing world. Each fighter has experience under the bright lights of major events. Canelo has fought in numerous high-profile bouts against legends like Gennady Golovkin and Floyd Mayweather. Crawford, on the other hand, stepped into his first super fight when he dominated fellow welterweight champion Errol Spence in a one-sided victory that ended in the 9th round. For Crawford, the challenge is even greater. Having last fought at super welterweight, he would need to move up 2 full weight divisions to face Canelo, the super middleweight king. This showdown could easily be one of the most monumental fights in recent boxing history.
I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and I always say that. No disrespect to him, but sometimes he's.
Canelo Alvarez lost his undisputed status at 168 pounds when the International Boxing Federation stripped him of the title, which was later claimed by the lesser-known Cuban fighter, William Skull. Before his highly anticipated fight with Terence Crawford in September, Canelo promised Turki Alalshikh during a press conference with Skull that he plans to reclaim the IBF belt from Skull. The goal is clear. Turki Alalshikh wants to ensure that Canelo's fight against Crawford is an undisputed world super middleweight championship bout. To make this happen, Canelo needs to secure the belt from William Skull first.
About a small fighter like Charlo, he's big, which he is big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford, fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo.
As the fight approaches, Terence "Bud" Crawford is fully aware of the physical disadvantage he'll face against Canelo Alvarez, recognizing that size will be a crucial factor. However, he remains confident in his ability to overcome this challenge and impose his boxing style on the fight. Many boxing analysts have voiced skepticism about Crawford's ability to compete effectively at super middleweight. This doubt largely stems from his most recent bout, a points victory over Israel Madrimov at super welterweight, which didn't feature the dominant performance that many had anticipated.
Yeah, I've seen that. Everybody that believes in hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo just like they knew Bud was going to be Spence. It's real simple. Real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say it.
The potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has sparked excitement among boxing fans worldwide, with the mix of power, speed, technique, and charisma from both fighters promising to deliver an unforgettable spectacle. Canelo has built a tradition of fighting twice a year, once in May and again in September, often around Mexico's Independence weekend. Since 2022, he's kept this schedule, and he plans to do so again in 2025. Crawford, however, has decided not to fight anyone until his September clash with Canelo. Many see this as a risky move, especially since it didn't work out for Errol Spence when he faced Crawford. Spence only had one fight that year, while Crawford took a tune-up fight before their bout. As history has shown, the fighter who fought less that year often ends up taking the bigger beating.
Over with now, or are we still waiting for that second fight to happen?
I don't know, man. I don't know. They still got to work things out and see where they go from there.
I know Tim Zeus needs a photo run out there as an opponent. What do you think about Crawford versus Zeus?
Butterstop him.
Yeah,
Butterstop him.
How many Zeus don't think that they can get a shot at Bud after, with the belt not even being on the line? Is that a fight that...
While it might seem like the potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is more about media buzz than a truly competitive matchup, especially considering Crawford fights at 154 pounds, 2 weight classes below Canelo's 168 pounds, both Crawford and Turki Alalshikh managed to convince Alvarez to accept the fight. Alvarez reportedly asked for $150 million to make it happen. Despite any doubts about the fight's competitiveness, Canelo Alvarez isn't underestimating Crawford. Crawford's rare boxing skills are a big reason why he's remained undefeated after 41 fights. Trainer Robert Garcia discussed how Canelo has the advantage in size and power, but also acknowledged Crawford's exceptional skills, which have kept him unbeaten and make him a dangerous opponent.
Because the way Crawford is doing it is because he knows is the biggest payday in his life, and he'll never. Maybe what he could get against Canelo, he's never made in all his fights combined. So of course, why would he call up Benavidez when he's calling up Canelo? No.
Crawford is a smart man. He's already achieved everything he set out to do, said Robert Garcia in an interview with Fight Hype. He's done a lot and doesn't need to challenge himself anymore. He doesn't have anything to prove to anyone. I've spoken to him personally, and my feeling is that he really wants that big fight with Canelo. If he doesn't get it, he might never fight again. Garcia also pointed out that Crawford has plenty of options in the junior middleweight division if he decides to take on the current champions. One of the most appealing challenges is WBC and WBO champion Sebastian Fundora. Other potential opponents for Crawford include IBF champion Bakram Murtazaliev, as well as Jermall Charlo, Virgil Ortiz Jr., Sergey Bohachuk, and Xander Zayas.
He's not gonna bitch out.
You don't think he could go all 12?
He won't bitch out.
He will. He'll do
He'll put up some good rounds. Get knocked out, but he'll put up some good rounds, and that's better than what Charlo did.
Hey, because he'll fight. He'll fight.
Yeah, exactly. He'll fight.
For Robert Garcia, Crawford doesn't need to seek another fight. Thanks to his stellar career and undefeated record, he's already accomplished everything he set out to do. I don't see him fighting just to please the fans who tell him he needs to face this or that fighter, Garcia explained. Garcia believes that if money were the main motivator, Crawford wouldn't need to fight again. He's taken care of his finances and made smart investments. The only reason Crawford would return to the ring, according to Garcia, is to face Canelo Alvarez and cap off his career on a high note. He's going to go out there and look for the big fight, enjoy his life. He's a very smart man, he's invested his money, and he doesn't need to fight one more time, Garcia continued. But if he gets the chance for that big fight with Canelo, he'll take it. Other than that, he might never fight again.